This is the ultimate camera comparison video of Honor 400 versus Honor 200. This is in 4K 30 FPS using the selfie camera. We got triple camera system on Honor 200 with that 50 megapixel telephoto, and we got a dual camera system on Honor 400 with that 200 megapixel main. I think that's it for a quick audio test. Let the battle begin.
So glad you made it. Party's just beginning. I'm on your playlist.
These are two of the best smartphones in terms of the mid-range camera performance, and on 1X, which is the widest, you will see that you have more colors on Honor 400, the skin tone is warmer, and you got better contrast on the image.
When I play the game, it's my only entertainment. Now we're not socializing. Put me on an island. Got that egomania.
On 2X, you got creamier background blur and less busy background on Honor 400 compared to the older Honor 200. And looking at the face, you have slightly more detailed facial features on Honor 400 compared to the older Honor mid-range. We also have better foreground and background blur on the latest Honor 400.
If it means I'm on your TV.
Now we have different implementation on the zoom. You got 2.5x optical on Honor 200, while we're just cropping in on the 200 megapixel sensor of Honor 400, and you'll see that there's more details and colors on the latest Honor phone.
So give your worst, not my problem. I put me first. I stop anything, don't care what the past is, don't care.
The older Honor 200 offers 3 focal length from 24mm to only 75mm, while Honor 400 offers 4 focal length from 24 to 85mm. And on the selfie portrait, hands down Honor 400 all throughout. You got better detail, stronger contrast, and sharper image on the latest Honor phone. Now this is the vlogging and video quality test of Honor 200 versus Honor 400 in 4K 30 FPS using the selfie camera. So we got 0.8x on both phones. You got a wider field of view on Honor 400 compared to the older model. Also on 1x. Still, Honor 400 is wider than the competition. Detail-wise, both are detailed. But you got a cleaner skin tone on Honor 400, which is nice, compared to a very detailed, but you can see the blemishes on Honor 400, or rather Honor 200. I think that's it for the selfie video recording. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now this is the rear cameras on both phones, starting with the ultra-wide in 4K 30 FPS. Both 12 megapixel sensors. I think they're identical sensors for the 200 and 400 series. In terms of field of view, we got 0.7x on both phones. I like the natural looking tone on Honor 400. It's warmer on Honor 200. Again, this is a matter of personal choice, but I prefer the natural looking, color accurate look on Honor 400. Now this is the sit-down video and vlogging test using the main sensor of both phones. So a whopping 200 megapixel sensor on Honor 400, 1/1.4 inch sensor versus 50 megapixel sensor, 1/1.56 inch on Honor 200. So we got 4 times the video resolution on Honor 400. In terms of video quality, I think this is the best sensors for both phones in terms of vlogging. So if you like to do vlogging on YouTube and other social media platforms, then stick with the main sensor on both phones. In terms of video quality, I think both phones looks similar, although 50 megapixel. Honor 200 still doing really good on video quality, but you got a natural looking Honor 400. This is what it looks like with my face close up. Now let's check the zoom. Now we're testing the zoom, so we have a proper telephoto on Honor 200. This is 2.5x, cropped into 3x on video. Well, we can crop in on Honor 400. This is 3 times crop on the 200 megapixel sensor. In terms of video quality, I think both phones are really good. This is a matter of personal choice because you have a noisier but better details on Honor 400 compared to a smoother but a little bit soft Honor 200. I think that's it for the video test. Now let's check the image quality. On the image quality test, ultra-wide, you have a brighter and more colorful Honor 400. Looking at the Y3, you can see that it's popping out a little bit more on the latest Honor phone. Also, I like the natural looking tone and colors of Honor 400. The older 200 is a little bit off. Take those fragile years, all your worry and tears and... Now on the main sensor, you will notice that the colors is a bit toned down on Honor 400 comparing it to the older 200. The colors are brighter but natural looking compared to the competition. It was worth
out the risk, cause it dug us a deeper love. Never in a million years did I think I'd get so lucky. Never in a million years did I think you'd be mine. And now I can't.
Now on the battle of the crop versus zoom, 2.5x telephoto versus cropping in on the main sensor, I think I like the implementation of Honor 400. You have more details and colors on the latest mid-range. And going to the 4D zoom, we got 30x on Honor 400 compared to the 50x of Honor 200. In terms of details, I would say more details and brighter on Honor 400. Now this is the outdoor test, Honor 400 versus Honor 200. We got a natural looking tone on Honor 400 compared to the 200 series. We got 1x on both phones, this is what it looks like, and 0.8x wider field of view on Honor 400. Let's check the autofocus. And look at the colors. I get natural looking tone on Honor 400 compared to 200. Let's check the video stabilization. Alright, let's do the rear cameras. Now this is the outdoor test using the rear camera in 4K 30 FPS. You can see the color of this tree. Look at the color of the sky. It's a little bit cloudy today. Lighter on Honor 400 compared to 200. Let's check the video stabilization. This is the vlogging test outdoors with human subject on the frame. Now let's check 1x. So this is what it looks like, 200 megapixel versus 50 megapixel. Can we see the difference in terms of the video quality? Let me know. Alright, colors, both are really nice. I think in terms of colors, color accurate on Honor 400, looking at the grass and even the sky. Let's check the video stabilization. Now this is vlogging test outdoors with enough light on daylight condition. This is what it looks like. And switching to the telephoto, we got 3x on Honor 200, and we're just cropping in on the 200 megapixel sensor of Honor 400. You would see better details on the 200 phone versus 400. There's artifacts on Honor 400. And going for the 4D zoom, we got 10x on Honor 400 and also 10x on Honor 200. You got better details because you have a dedicated telephoto on the older model. Switching to the ultra wide, which phone do you think is better? On the ultra wide night shots, both phones look similar. On the sky, you will see that Honor 400 is trying to expose the scene better. Even on pitch black condition, you would see that Honor 400 is trying to expose the scene better compared to the darker 200. On the main sensor, both phones are really good. I think the only difference here is the exposure. Again, brighter on Honor 400, but in terms of details, I think they're almost the same. Now on pitch black condition, like the ultra wide, we got brighter night shots on the 400. On 2.5x or zoom, we may have a slightly better details on Honor 200 compared to the latest 400. The colors are a bit off though looking at the blue car. And on darker situation, I think they're almost the same. Again, just better exposure on the newest 400. Alright, now we're testing the low light video on both phones, Honor 200 versus Honor 400. This is 0.8x. We're switching to 1x. We're using the same sensor, so same video quality on 0.8x and 1x. I see a trend on the video recording for Honor phones, so you get a smoother skin on the selfie video recording and a bit noisier on the rear cameras but better exposed. In terms of the difference between these two phones, I like the warmer look on Honor 400, but in terms of details, almost the same. I think in terms of colors and white balance, warmer on Honor 400 compared to the 200. I think that's it for the selfie video recording. Now let's check the rear cameras. Now checking the rear cameras of both phones, starting with the ultra wide 12 megapixel on both phones, 4K 30 FPS. We also have 0.7x field of view on both phones. I pre-checked these two phones in terms of the video quality. I like the exposure, better exposure to Honor 400 compared to 200. I think that's it for the ultra wide. Now let's check the main sensor. Now we're checking the main sensor of both phones. So we have a 200 megapixel sensor, 1/1.4 inch sensor on Honor 400, and we got a 50 megapixel sensor, 1/1.56 inch sensor on Honor 200. You can see the details on Honor 400 on this area. A little bit noisier, but comparing to Honor 200, you can see more details on Honor 400. In terms of exposure, it's better exposed also on Honor 400. I think that's the upgrade on the video quality from the Honor 200 to Honor 400. Now we're checking the zoom capabilities of both phones, Honor 200 versus Honor 400. We got a proper telephoto on Honor 200. The autofocus is hunting on low light video on Honor 200, and we got a noisier but better exposed video on Honor 400. We're just cropping in on the 200 megapixel sensor, main sensor of Honor 400. I like the implementation on Honor 400 compared to the 200. I think it's an upgrade from 200 to 400 on low light video. I think that's it. Now let's check the video resolution. And lastly, the video resolution test. This is Honor 200 in 4K 30 FPS. And this is the video resolution test on Honor 400. This is in 4K 30 FPS. Is 400 an upgrade from 200? I think in terms of the periscope telephoto, it's good. On daylight condition, you can see the difference when you zoom in. But on low light video, not so much. In terms of video quality and image quality, which do you prefer? Honor 200 or Honor 400? Leave your comment down below, and as always, thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.